so when you're ready, ladies and gents, I'll take off my glasses so things not blur. And coming into your set position, so just anchor your weight into your heels and open up your knees. Little tip of your bum to activate your glutes, and as you create that length into your lower back, it's going to release the back and help to activate our core more. So in the back arches, the tummy muscles switch off a little. So when you draw down the tailbone, it's going to help to connect your abdominals more. So from our set position, let's release the shoulders. Just letting the arms lift and rolling the shoulders back and down. And I'll just put a little bit more light in the situation. There we go, that helps as well. So when the arms lift, keep the shoulders gently drawing down to the back of the ribs, so you're not letting your shoulders rise up towards the ears, and that's just keeping a little connection in our upper back too. I want you to feel your elbows go just behind your shoulders if you can, to really start opening up the front of the shoulders and the front of your chest. As the arms come back this time, palms stay up, cross the hands, nodding your chin, and then push your thumbs to the back of the room. Breathing in as you tip forwards, and breathing out to open. And as you open the arms, feel like your shoulder blades again sliding towards each other. And if you want to add a little heel raise, if you can balance, lift the heels as you open the arms. Don't rush this move. Just feel the chest opening, breathing in, and then breathing out to lift. In through the nose, and then out through the mouth. And give me one more there. Let the hands now drop down by your thighs. Lift them both up. With a little bit of rotation, we drop to the right, and then we drop to the left. So we're just feeling a little bit more movement through the spine, but we're still looking at a bit of stability through our hips. So feel the tailbone still drawing down towards the heels a little. Belly button softly drawn towards the spine. And then see how much you can turn your ribs while keeping your hips nice and square to the front. Breath in as you drop the arms out with the lift. And this time, keeping your hands to the right hand side and wrap. As we wrap around to the right, we're going to step out with that right leg. Let your body weight shift over to the right heel and then start to pull back in with your left leg. So we're stretching the inner thighs on the left leg as we stride across, and then we're using those inner thighs to pull ourselves back up into centre. Again, the shoulders want to be nice and relaxed. That little feeling again, still drawing the shoulder blades down into the back of your rib cage. Staying across, so a nice wide stride, square to the front, and our lovely side bends. Now as we start to lift up our left hip, that's where we create a little bit more length in that right inner thigh. And as you start, my headphones have gone again. Lifting the elbow up as high as you can. I think you need to purchase some new ones. Let your right arm reach out to the side. Bring the shoulders back above the hips and then lengthening as you tip. 2 more here, and then coming into your last one. My voice is going as well as my headphones. Step in to centre and stride forward with your right foot, pressing that back heel down. Start with the hands behind the back and your shoulders roll back and open. Again, core is in, and as you tip forward, you're keeping the length into the spine, and then you're starting to try and encourage length down the back of your right leg. So you're gently lifting your bottom up towards the ceiling, away you're still maintaining that little pinch between the shoulder blades. And again, keep lifting the rib cage as you tip forward, so we don't let the ribs collapse to the hips. If the ribs collapse at the front, the back tends to round. So keep your chest nice and proud, lifting it high as you hinge forwards. And once more here. And then you can stay here. Taking your left leg a little further back and bend your right knee so it's over your heel. And we're going to come into our lunges. Tucking the bottom, we're going to ease into that back knee, stretch at the arms, and then pull them down to your thighs. Breathing in as you ease down, and then breathing out to rise. Try and keep your shoulders above your hips as you lower. So tempting to let the shoulders come forwards. So even if you're not going as low into your lunge, keep it small. Now from here, we're going to add in a little bit of balance. You can stay with this move, or as you rise, you tip forward, bring the hands down, go back into your lunge, push out your front heel, and again, breathing in as you sink into that back knee, and then breathing out as you push forwards. Bring the shoulders back, feeling the balance and feeling the push. Give me 2 more here. That's the hard bit, getting up. And the harder bit is trying to hold the balance, and then you can step in. So lift up your right buttock, now back to our rotation, tucking the bottom, wrap to your right, and then around to your left. In there he goes. So tucking the bottom again, turn the rib cage, look all the way around the room, so you're getting a rotation through the neck, as well as through the upper back. But don't forget that stability of your hips, keep squeezing your glutes when you're ready striding across to your left. Let the weight shift across and bring the arms back. You like the arms go a little bit bigger, but still keep your shoulders down away from the ears. So you almost feel your arms just naturally swing and wrap around your waist. Try not to look down to the floor. Try and look all the way around the room, keeping your eye gaze level as you wrap. And once more, staying across, squaring up the hips, straightening up the legs, and then your tip. Just allowing that right hip, to lift. Oh, little click there. Breathing out with the tip, and a breath in as you rise. So the out breath allows us to relax here. Normally we use our out breath in the effort to engage our core. This is more kind of just letting the breath go, letting the muscles relax with no tension through your shoulders. And maybe reaching the arm a little further. Maybe your right hip just that little bit higher. And once more here. From there we're going to step in. So bring your feet in underneath your hips. And then from there we're going to come back to our step position with our lunge. Oh no, striding forward, hip flex, the hamstring first. Square the hips. Shoulders are back, elbows kind of almost squeeze towards each other to keep your chest open. And again, as you're hinging forward then, just feeling that mild stretch down the back of your left leg. So the more we can release our hamstrings before we start moving properly with weights, the more likely we are to be able to keep our spine neutral. When the hamstrings are tight and we try and tip, it ends up coming from the back. So we are really focused on keeping the spine long and trying to lift with the bottom. So that way we've just got a movement coming from the hip joint while we're still very focused on keeping our spine in neutral. And then coming in to your last one. Front knee bends, so it's over your heel. Bend your right foot goes further back and hands to your thighs. Roll the shoulders back again. Sink into your back knee as you lift the arms, feeling the stretch through the thigh, through the hip, and then push back your front heel. Knees are gently open from the hips, so it's keeping that little connection on your outer thighs too. As the arms lift, still keeping the ribs ever so slightly down. Trying to keep the shoulder blades drawn down towards those back pockets. And if you want to add in your balance, you circle and tip. You bring the foot down, lift up the arms, push forward into your circle. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Oops. Try not to scrape your hand down the wall. And as you tip forward, try not to lock out your front knee. So we're trying to keep that knee slightly soft to encourage more stability work around the knee, the hip, and the ankle. Give me your last one here. Breathe in and open, breathe out and tip, and step together. Right, so we'll come into our squats, but we'll come into our squats with the weights. So if you want your both of your weights, obviously one in each hand, that goes without saying. We're going to come into our squats and we're going to add a bicep curl and a shoulder press. So knees are open. Into your squat, the hips go back. Curl and press, and then back into your squat. Left arm, curl and press. Now as we start to bring the work into the legs, we're still very focused on keeping our spine in a neutral position. I want to feel the hips pulling back, and as you start to pull into the hips, keep the chin in and the abdominals braced. Now when you add the press, and you add a heel lift. So we really need to brace your core here. Press, lift the heels, back down to the heels before you go into your squat. Now when you add the shoulder press, keep it a slight diagonal. So you're not taking the weight over the head and it's not making your back arch on the press. So if you feel the back starting to arch a little, just push the weight a little further forwards, really concentrating on that neutral spine. If it feels a bit wobbly lifting the heels, just keep them firm on the floor. Now as we squat, try and make sure the knees stay open from the hips, so we're not letting our knees collapse in. And then again, sitting back into the heels, little rise through the abdominals. One more on each side, without falling over. And your last one here. And rest down. Weights outside your thighs. Right leg first, strides back. Double bicep curl. Then bring the arms out. Come back to your curl. And bring the arms out. So as the back foot comes down, you curl, lift the shoulders. And then we tip forward and we squeeze into the shoulder blades. Now as you bring the arms out to the side, notice they're in line with the middle of the chest, not up by your shoulders here. Each time we sink into that back knee, tuck the bottom, and bit by bit you might find you can go a little lower. And again, it's the control of the movement, starting from our core engaging as soon as we start to tip. Once more to the top. Hold here, bring your weights down on your back foot. Pull up the elbows, double tricep kick back. So the upper arms are staying still. You've got your bottom tucked under, so you've still got that length in the lower back. And just check this knees not drop forward. Push the bum back. Now don't let the upper arms move. Imagine you're holding 2 pencils underneath your armpits. And as you push the weights back, try and keep hold of those pencils under the armpits. Feel a squeeze in the back of the arms. Breathe out on the extension. Breath in as you close. For 3, 2, and your last one. And then lower the hands and step in. Taking your left leg back this time. So a nice long stride back. Back leg starts straight. You bend the back knees, you curl, and then you straighten that back leg as you come forwards. You don't have to lift that back foot off the floor. It can stay down as a little stabiliser. So we can really then focus on the squeeze between the shoulder blades. And again, making sure the weights are in line with the middle of the rib cage rather than up in line with the shoulders. And if you've got that balance, use the out breath. That's going to help to engage the core as you tip. Breathe in as you bend that back knee. Brace and open. Feel the shoulder blades pull together. As you're pulling the shoulder blades together at the back, feel that sensation at the front of your shoulders opening. So that's the important part too. And coming in to your last one. Hold here. Keep your balance. Bring the foot down. Back to your triceps, pulling the elbows. Alternate this time. So that slightly in forward, front knee slightly bent. One arm. As one arm lowers, the opposite one extends. So you're squeezing into the back of the arm. Again, that feeling you're holding your pencils nice and tight underneath your armpits. And as you alternate from one arm to the other, you might feel your body wants to start moving. So bring that focus back into your core. Drawing the belly button up towards the spine. Squeezing the elbows in towards the ribs. Still pressing down to that front heel. Keeping that front knee open from the hip. One more on each side. And then you can rest there. You can now step in. So glutes are definitely walking up. Let's bring the elbows to 90 degrees. Pull them in towards the ribs and drop the shoulders down. Just come into a side raise first of all. So when we come into our side raise, we don't want to use our upper traps and lift our shoulder girdle. The first thing we do is pull the shoulder blades down and then try and push the elbows out as wide as you can. So the focus is not going high, it's going wide. Breathing out with a lift, breath in as you ease down. Little tuck at the bottom, belly button through to spine. 3 to go here. Your last 2. We're going to come back to the shoulders a little later. and then you can rest. Bring the weights down to your thighs. Single row, back of the shoulders, so it's the rear deltoids, not the tops. So we push the hips back. Your weights rest just above your kneecaps, and then from there, a wide row. Here you need to tuck your tailbone under, ever so slightly. And again, as we create length in the lower back, it physically allows our core to engage more. If the lower back wants to round, it means you're engaging the back muscles and holding yourself here from your back. So as you draw the tailbone slightly under and feel how it lengthens the lower back, you should also feel how it pulls the tummy muscles in at the same time. Just going with 4 more here, out on the lift, into release. Opening the chest, keeping nice and still through the trunk of the body, and 1 more time. Coming back to the top of the shoulders with rotators this time. So elbows back in by your ribs, you open the arms, and now we turn the palms forward, towards the floor, and back in. Now again, when we turn the palms up, sometimes we can tend to lean back. And if we lean back, again, it's the lower back kicking in. So think about still drawing down the tailbone like it's heavy, holding the abdominals in, and just trying to feel the movement through the shoulder joint rather than using your spine or your hips. Just 2 to go here. It's a little bit tougher as this one. And your last one. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze down, elbows stay high, and then you release to your side bends. Ease gently from one side to the other. So the hand is sliding toward the outside of the knee. Your tailbone again still gently tucked under and lengthen in the centre. Now relax the shoulders. Let the lift come from your waist. As you stretch through the waist here, you pull then the ribs back towards the hips. Nod the chin ever so slightly, so we're aware the head's not coming forward with the shoulders. So then when we tip from side to side, it's as if you're between 2 panes of glass, ears, shoulders, hips, knees and ankles, all nicely aligned as you move. Letting the breath flow, in through the nose, out through the mouth, into release, out to lift, always out with the effort. And the effort is definitely lifting. 1 more on each side. And holding there. Right, cross leg lunges with bicep curls. So weight's just outside your thighs, just your right leg moving. Stride back. Now when you stride back, the hips are going to want to turn to the corner of the room. So when you stride back, square the hips so your hips are facing forward here. Come down into your knee, add a bicep curl, and then rise and kick out the leg. So we hold that lunge. We curl, we release, we open up the leg. Just tapping the toe to begin with. Now here, think about your posture. Shoulders stacked above the hips at the top, and aim to keep your shoulders stacked above your hips at the bottom. Now if you want to make it all move, come down and then up. And try and keep your right foot off the floor. But to engage your quads, the front of your thigh, stretch out into your toes here and squeeze up through the front of your thigh. Now breathe in, breathe out, push. Slow and controlled. Now think about the shoulders. Keep them nice and open and feel the weight come towards the front of your shoulders. And slowly, very slowly, turning the weights, palms back into your thighs. 2 more. Your last one. And hold. Bring the feet wide. We're going to come into a squat. Right arm stays here. Shoulders are open. Into a squat. And then into a tip. Into a squat. Weight to shoulder. And then tip. Now as you tip, turn your left palm forward and pull the shoulder blade back. So you get the feeling of pulling your shoulder blades together here as you rotate the palms in towards your thighs and then rotate the palms to the front. So you get that extra little bit of stability work through the upper back. We focus on pressing down through that left heel. Maybe a little bit of balance here. 2 to go. If you need less, don't press up that right arm. You can keep it here. Now next time we're going to hold at the top. Weight up or bring it back to your shoulder. Just lower the leg, keep the tilt and lift through your outer thigh. Try and keep the body still and let this weight in your left hand almost pull you down a little. That's going to help to engage your core, to keep your chest nice and high. You can add the press with the leg. 4, 3, 2, one more, and then hold. A little reset. Let's come back to the squats. So when you're ready, chest nice and open, a little pinch through the shoulder blades, and when you're ready from here, weight to your shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out, turn your palms forwards, turn your palms into your body. As you turn your palms forward, want to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breathing out the press, breathing in to ease down. And don't rush. Give yourself time to pull your hips back. So you can physically feel your weight moving back into your hips, into your heels. Breathe in as you lower down. A little brace through your core and press. 2 more to the top. Last one we hold. Now again, you can hold the weight here. Anytime you need less, you can bring it to here. Lower and lift. You can lean a little further. So you can let your leg come lower. And then really focus on squeezing through the outer thigh. If you struggle to hold it up, maybe just add a press with each leg lift. Breathe out with each push. 4, 3, 2, hold, cross leg lunge. Bring the weight down, go back and hold, add your curl, and then rise and tap. Again, hold at the bottom, curl the weights, and then stretch out through your toes. Sink first. Keep the chest lifted, especially as the arms come down. Sometimes gravity pulls our shoulders forward as well. It's that feeling of keeping the chest high. And if you're happy with that, maybe all one move, slowly though. Even though it's all one move, we're still keeping it very, very controlled. Holding up through the crown of the head, breathing in, bending into the knee, a little engagement through the core. What's the length through your spine? Hands just outside your thighs, pull the shoulder blades together. Breathe in, start to breathe out as you rise. 2 more to the top. And your right buttock should be just about done. Hold in and bring your foot down. Right, let's have a lie down. Let's do a little bit of work for the chest and the upper back. And again, the more we focus on opening the chest, the more we can focus on working through the upper back as well. So sometimes the upper back is inhibited, chest is inhibited with the back muscles, and the back muscles can sometimes be inhibited from a tight chest. So we're going to focus on stretching into the chest first. See if that reconnects. I've never done technologies there. I think I've been jinxed. Right, I think I have a voice back. Right, as we come down onto our mats, I've muted us all as well. Sorry. There we go, I've muted myself. 200 buttons to press. Right, opening the chest is what we're looking at first. So we need to kind of think about really opening through the shoulder joint and keeping the elbow soft. If we look out the arms and we open the arms, the shoulder tends to pop forwards. So we need to think about keeping the shoulders in a nice set position, taking both your weights and resting your heads. So the feet, knees about 90 degrees, in line with your hips, both arms up and both elbows soft. Now roll your right shoulder back and press it into the floor. Then roll your left shoulder back, pull the shoulder blade down and press it into the ground. Notice the soft bend in the elbows. Breathe in, opening both arms, and then breathe out to squeeze. Now I want to focus on trying to keep our lower back
towards the ground. Not forcing it into the floor, but feeling that you're drawing the belly button down to the spine and not allowing the back to lift as you open the arms. So again, that way we keep a little bit more length in the lower back, deactivates the muscles a little bit into the lower back, and then it makes our core work a little harder to keep our spine in set position. Just 2 more here. Feel the stretch and then squeeze back in. Feel the stretch, hold at the top, both arms together, triceps, breathing in, out to push. So we're looking at shoulder stability here. We don't want those shoulders to move up to the ears. We're trying to keep both shoulder blades drawn down and pressed into the ground. Chin is nodded in. Now again, that feeling you're trying to draw the lower back gently towards the mat. Not forcing it into the floor, just trying to hold it there. Now also think about your ribs if you can. It's like you're about to sneeze and your ribs pull down a little towards your hips. And then we should feel a little bit more connection in our core, holding our spine. And then we can really focus on the shoulder stability, pressing them firmly into the ground. 2 more here. Squeeze the back of the arms on the way up. 1 more time. Single arm flies. So we're going to keep one arm perfectly still, relax the elbows, open one arm, and then ease into centre, then the other arm. Naturally your body wants to roll towards the weight. So again, as much as we tend to focus on moving the arms, we're trying to focus more on keeping still in your centre. That starts again from the chin being nodded in, the ribs slightly drawing down towards the hips, drawing the belly button through to the spine, so you're trying to get your back as close as you can towards the ground. And noticing that when you open the arms, you're not letting the back lift away from the ground. Notice the elbows are still soft and relaxed. Feel the shoulder opening. 1 more each side. Single arms for your triceps now, so hold here. Now your elbows don't want to point to the side of the room. Hold those pencils again under your armpits, and your elbows should then naturally point to your thighs. Chin is in, 1 arm up, 1 arm down, ribs draw down, and then start to alternate the arms. Keep gently pressing down through the back of the shoulders. Gently press down the back of the rib cage. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Trying to fully extend the arm up towards the ceiling each time. But again, as you're pushing the arm up, don't let the back of the shoulder lift off the floor. I'm still pressing down through the back of the shoulder the whole time, and that creates more stability around our shoulder girdle. Checking on those ribs again. 1 more on each side. And then extend both arms up. Bring both elbows back down by your ribs. Pop the weights down for now, and then circle the arms. Cross the hands in front of your face, so your palms face up. Keep the ribs drawn down, take the arms back, and then pull your elbows to your ribs, hands to heels, cross the hands, pull down with the elbows, squeeze into the armpits. So just engage our lats on the pull down, and as you keep your palms facing up to the ceiling, it's a little bit more release for your chest and your shoulders. 1 more here, and then you can rest in centre. When you come back to centre, now you're going to walk your feet closer, taking your weights. Elbows are going to be wide. And when we take the elbows wide, I want your hands, your knuckles pointing into the centre. Now from our bridge position, chin is in, neutral spine, and a tug of your tailbone, and then roll up through the spine and press the weights together. Open the elbows wide here. Breathe out as you press, and it's like your weights are drawing a capital A. Bringing the hands together, pulling the elbows apart. Squeezing into the chest, but still pressing down through the backs of your shoulders. 4 more to the top. Breathe out on the press. Breathe in is down. Squeeze your glutes, feel that hip extension. 2 more. Your last one. Hold at the top, turn your palms away. So we take the hands just a little bit wider than the shoulders, and we're going to keep the hips up. From here, you're going to lower your elbows, and as you press, lift your heels, and then take the elbows wide again. So the weights come in line by the side of the rib cage, and then out wide as you lower your heels. If you need less, you can bring the hips down between each one, but making sure you put the heels down if you're bringing the hips down. If you're good, stay at the top. Breathe in, breathe out, lift the heels and press. Breathe in, keep squeezing your glutes the whole way through. 4 more from here if you can. Keep using the back of the shoulders, big part of your stability. 2 to go. And then your last one. Hold, bring the heels down, bring the hips down. Bring your knees up. So palms face towards your thighs, and it's not a big move. I want you to bring the ribs down at the front, and again, ease your lower back towards the floor. Opposite arm and leg, you're just reaching your arm back a little. So it's not going past your face. You should be able to see your arm in your vision the whole time. Notice what happens when you extend the arm and leg. A, the lower back wants to lift off the floor, and B, the ribs want to pull away from the hips. So before you move, draw the front of the ribs down like you're going to sneeze, and feel that lower back staying down towards the ground. And if you feel it does lift, just make your movement smaller. Elbow again slightly soft. Don't let the weight go past your face. Breathe in to open, out on the close. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Slow and controlled. So we've got plenty of time to really focus on keeping the lower back down. 1 more on each side. And hopefully you can feel that little bite in the belly. Bring the feet down, bring the hands down, ditch your weights, and again give your shoulders a couple of cycles. Just a quick release through the shoulders there. Perfect. Side lying next. So let's come into our side lying position. Let's come into a nice little combo. When I say nice, it just means effective. It's never nice. Let's have both knees bent. Aim your clam. I want the hip just gently pushed away from the rib. And I want you to feel like you're physically trying to lift your bottom rib off the floor. So once you've lifted through your waist and your bottom rib, you've engaged the underside of your body here to stop your spine sagging down. Again, think about lifting from the waist first. Then when you're ready, you're going to lift the whole leg, just level with your hip, extend the leg out, knee forward and close. So level with the hip, stretching into the toes, level with the knee and lower. Even though we're lying on our side, we're still want to be thinking about the length in the spine. So you're drawing the belly button softly through towards the spine and trying to feel that you're keeping lots of length in the lower back. And the more we keep that length in the lower back, the more it's going to physically allow our core muscles to work. Check the ribs, just slightly down at the front. 1 more here. And then this time hold. Just lift the knee up and down. So your shin is staying level, your foot staying level with your knee to keep your shin parallel, and you're lifting from the hip. It's not a clam where we rotate backwards. This is going to more work the abductors, taken away. The abductors on the inside that bring them together. So you're pushing up, keeping the foot level with the knee, still lifting your waist and keeping your ribs and hips nice and fixed. Now this time as you lift, hold, just lower the foot, then lift the foot. Lower the foot and lift the foot. So So you're trying to keep the knee high, and this is where we start to bring the rotation into the hip. Foot level, knee up, toe down, 3, 2. So that's your external rotation and knees rotating back. Now internal, keep the foot up, let the knee go down, come level, knee go down and come level. So you feel how the knees rotating in now, so taking that hip in a slightly different direction. Still working quite strong around those hips, still checking in on your ribs, still smiling. 3, 2, 1, lower the whole leg. That just feels a little bit heavy now. Let's try the other side when you're ready. So taking a roll into your plank on the opposite side. So we start with the big movements first, and then we're going to just whittle it down so we get those really fine movements in our hips. Clam position. Top knee, just give it a little push forward so the knees are aligned. Top hip, sliding away from the ribs. And physically feel like you're trying to hold your waist off the floor, like the floor's really hot and you're trying not to touch down. Then when you're ready, shoulders are relaxed, abdominals are engaged, you've got the length in your back to help keep your core on. You lift the whole leg and you straighten it out. Sound like I'm going to do the hokey cokey, but we're not shaking anything about. So there'll be no fun in that, would there? Again, lift, squeeze your thighs, stretch into your toes, realign the knee, lift the whole leg. And the challenge here is to let the foot lift with the knee. Sometimes we're just leaving that foot down so the knee lifts and kind of change the angle of the hip, which changes the muscles we're working into. So by keeping that foot level and the knee pointing forwards, we've got a lot more work occurring through the abductors. Squeeze the front of the thigh, stretch right into your toes. So each time feel like you're pushing your foot just a little further away. Control it in, don't rush coming back in. Still aware that when you're bringing the leg in, you're keeping this nice set position to the trunk of your body. Hold in the next one. So keeping the knee just level with the hip, lower the whole leg and lift the whole leg. Don't leave the foot behind, keep the foot up with the knee. Breathe out to lift and a breath in as you ease down. On the out breath, we just pull our core in a little bit more each time. We breathe in and release. We breathe out, pulling through the core. 4, 3. This leg's always harder because it's been working stabilising while we're moving the other leg. So hold at the top, your knee comes down, and also the knee goes up first, so your foot comes down and then level. So we do the smaller movement at the back first, it's getting a really small rotation around the hip joints. If the hips are a little tight, you might find that it's the pelvis that wants to start rolling back, so you're starting to move from the back. So even if it's a really small movement, try and encourage it as much as you can from the hip rather than the pelvis or the back moving. So we've got our core connected, and now we can do the other movement. This is harder. Knee down and up. Knee down, level with the hip. And again, you're almost letting your foot turn up to the ceiling. Keeping that decent gap between the knees as the knee comes back up. Out breath on that lift. Breathe in, out. 3, 2, squeeze into the outer thigh. 1, and then rest. Relax and roll onto your back. Oh, that's what I was working this morning. So let's give them a little release. If you take your right leg over your left, naturally, your body weight is going to roll over to the right hand side. So the pelvis is tilting that way. So push your left buttock down so your pelvis is level, and you can feel the back of your sacrum, your bottom on the ground, and you can either gently push your knee away, or you can take the hands behind your left thigh. If you're lifting the left knee, again you're going to feel the pelvis tilts back, so the hips are pointing towards your head. Try and get the feeling that you're trying to roll your pelvis away again. So you're trying to roll down into the tailbone. You're keeping the ribs down at the front. Then you can gently press away with your right knee
and just feeling those well-worked muscles having a well-deserved release. Your foot comes down and we change legs. Left over right. You're going to want to tip to the left. So again, we want to anchor. This will stabilise our pelvis. So press the right buttock down. Encourage the knee away here. Just finding that stretch. Check it again, pelvis is still level. Happy everything's where it should be. Then you can lift the right knee. Lace the fingers behind your thigh. Now just notice the lower back. You feel it's just slightly pressed into the floor. Try and roll your bottom away. Press your tailbone gently back down towards the floor. Just the point where you feel that stretch increasing. Not too painful. And if you want to take the stretch a little deeper, you just encourage your left knee a little further away. Either do that with a hand on the knee, or you can just physically push your knee away from your hip. And then you can relax again. Bring the feet down. When you're ready, if you take a roll over, coming onto your hands and your knees. Oh, if the hips still work, we might be able to get back up. Bring the knees underneath the hips. Lengthen first. If your hands and knees are too close, the back's going to round. So again, knees under hips. Lengthen your spine and push your head forward with your fingertips. Then when you're ready, take a cat stretch. Tuck in your chin, lift up your belly. Keep this hold, arching your spine, and pull the hips gently back to the heels. And then come forward and let your belly drop, lifting your chest into a cow stretch. So again, our normal cat stretch. And if you prefer just to stay with this move, that's fine. Or once you're here, keep the hands pressed into the floor as your hips ease back. Lower the tummy and let your chest come forwards. Again, belly button to spine. Ease back to your heels. Nice release for the shoulders as you keep pressing the hands into the floor. Lift your heart, lift your eye gaze. And then back into your cat stretch. One last time, back to the heels, pressing down with the fingertips as you pull your hips back. And lifting your chest. And then working our way back up onto our feet. So your toes tuck. When you're ready, you can push onto the balls of the feet. Now from here, take a really big bend in your knees, let your hips sit back, and then you're going to power yourself forward. So you're going to push forward and bring one leg through. And then your opposite foot comes through. If you find it difficult to do it that way, come your own way. But it's always good to just learn a few different techniques that are coming up from the ground. Nod in your chin, relax the head and the shoulders. Lift your belly, tuck in your chin. Relax the shoulders, let them feel a little heavier. If you need support, bring your elbows onto your thighs. In your own time, breathe in. On your out breath, again, just starting to work your way back up through each vertebra. Chin stays nodded in. Each vertebra restacks. Your shoulders come right back above the hips. And then circle the arms. Just releasing the shoulders one more time because they've done lots of work today. Open them up. Pull the elbows down to the ribs. Hands all the way to your thighs this time. Shrug up the shoulders and let them go. And again, nice big breath in for the lift and release. And give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gents. Well worked. Do you think legs? 10 out of 10? Legs, do you agree? You did 10 out of 10.